headsets on. And join this. Okay.
Hey, hey.
Hey. I like how I'm only just noticing this in making the announcement. But in the last one, they said everyone tried to spell out "rip Sastry" because we rebranded. But you know how Discord. Well, no, I guess Discord you can't use the same emoji again, right? When you're doing writing something out. So rip R is already there. So when they went over when they wrote out Sastry, they just omitted the R. So now it just says rip Sasti. And one of the S's is a 5.
Yo, folks!
Yo, yo.
Hey.
We are. All right. I'm also very late because I was eating dinner.
That's fine. That's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. So apparently the Oscars are supposed to be tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe we can when do
Hopefully
they start?
Walker.
When do they start?
Hopefully Wolfwalkers wins, because that will be a 2D animated feature film that I want to see winning.
It won't, but it would be cool if it would.
It would be up there with Spread Away, finally. I mean, Claus, yeah, Toy Story 4 took that spot. It's like, okay, fine, alright, yeah. But, there's something about 2D animation and Oscars.
Well, meaning that they don't give a crap about it? Yes, I agree. They have. Has a 2D feature won anything since since Beauty and the Beast?
Spirited Away won Best Animated Feature.
Oh, okay.
But that was from...
Was that the last 2D animated feature to win an Oscar?
There's the animation equivalent to the Annies.
Well, no, that one that one I don't really count because they actually give a crap about animation. The Oscars doesn't give a shit.
I don't know anything about the Oscars. I don't know how.
Well, let me tell you. At least circa 2014, and that was the year. That was the year I lost complete respect for the Oscars. Now thinking back, well, I guess it would technically be 2015 because it was the movies that came out in 2014 that got the awards in 2015, and where I'm like, oh my god, you guys are just like, it's just like a popularity contest. Anyway, let me tell you how they nominate and select animated features for the win. At least this is what they reported on back in 2014. Granted, it could change. It could have changed by then, but to be honest, I don't believe that they have. So this is actually like what's been reported on. They interviewed some of these people, the judges, which are I don't think they're ever. I don't think they're mostly anonymous, right? Like there's some just industry professionals that are just like that judge. But anyway, they were interviewing some of them, and they legit, when it came to the animation category, some of them don't even see the movies, so they can't even vote. Some of them only see a handful of the nominations versus all of them, and so they can only vote on the ones that they've actually seen. And some of them just let their kids pick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they don't give two shits about animation. It's like, I know Oscar is like, and getting an Oscar is like one of the best, like one of the standout achievements about what you can get for film. But honestly, I would say in terms of animation, an Annie is a lot more prestigious for the animation medium, because Oscars, like I said, they just don't care. They don't care at all.
And it's not a genre either.
Yeah,
It's the medium.
That's the other thing. The Oscars treats it as a genre. They don't treat it as a medium.
Rick and Morty and SpongeBob SquarePants are not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Hence why that was the entire reason the animation category was created in the first place, because when Beauty and the Beast got nominated for Best Picture, way back in, what was it, 93, 94? When did Beauty and the Beast come out? No, 94 was Lion King. When was Beauty and the Beast?
1991.
91. Wow, that was off. But anyway, when it got nominated, there was a huge stink. Like, it's an animated feature. What are you doing nominating it for the live action category? This is completely unorthodox. And there was some threat where people were not even gonna there was a bunch of filmmakers who were gonna boycott the Oscars or something, and it was just like, and so then they created the category of the animation category where they pretend to care, but they don't.
God, that's so stupid. That's so just awful. Especially whenever it's like a traditionally 2D style animation. Like, man. That's another thing. Animation is not just like 2D animation. There is like several different kinds of animation.
Mm-hmm. All sorts of it. But it's like, that's the other issue right now in the animation industry, is that 3D. I mean, I like 3D. I do. I'm not saying it's bad. Some of my favorite films are 3D. It's just like, it's so overpopulated. You know what I mean? Everything is 3D.
Yeah, I get what you. I really, really love the whole specifically the Don Bluth style. I really, really like that animation style.
Oh, that poor thing. I had a chance of coming back, but unfortunately it fell through.
Yeah.
He raised, I want to say ballpark of $20,000 to $35,000 on Indiegogo, right, to make
an animated Dragon Slayer movie.
Well, no. This is where people got confused. That $30,000 would not pay for an animated feature. That's like $30,000. $30,000 would get you through like a month of production for a feature film. You know, it's like that's hardly anything. You need a couple $1 million to get a 2D animated film out there.
Yeah.
So everyone,
what's the budget for these big these quote unquote live action films? Like, what's the budget on these CGI action?
The CG. Oh yeah, the CG animated films. Those are like $100 to $120 million each.
Yeah. are insane.
And if your picks are 160 million to $180 million, so it's like it's insane. The cheapest form of animation right now on the market is stop motion, and that's because most of your expenses are going towards the models and the sets. Once you actually start animating, it's kind of like it's all there in front of your camera. You know, it's most of your money is going towards pre-production and building everything, and once that's done, you're ready to go. You know, and
it's just time then.
Right, it's time. Versus 2D animation where you have to draw everything. You got to keep drawing everything. That's time consuming, and you still got to like continue to make stuff all through until animation's done. And then CG animation, where it's kind of like stop motion in that you you have to build everything inside the computer. Only now it's inside the computer. However, the difference is that while stop motion largely, I mean, granted, if you want to use green screens and effects, that's one thing. That's all post-production. But largely, when you build a stop motion set and take all the pictures, you're done. You just you load those pictures up into a video editing program, or maybe you're using Dragon Frame and it's automatically doing that. And you just have to render the thing. CG animation, you gotta animate it, you gotta light it in the program, and I think it's lighting usually comes after. At least that's what I've learned. It could be. I'm not an expert in CG at all, but like lighting, I from what I interpret, usually comes after the fact that you've animated the characters. Although granted, I guess it's like it's a joint effort because granted movement changes everything. Anyway, my point is that your job isn't done when you're done animating in CG. There's a lot of simulation passes. There's a lot of rendering passes where you're not just clicking one button, render, and go like, hey, it's all done. Usually it's you render it in layers and like composite it all together later on.
Like you can see VFX breakdowns and
right.
So many movies actually. You can see the whole layering process.
Yeah, there's
a lot that goes on behind it.
Exactly, and how do they get those in the first place? Well, that's it, because no one just hits render on that like the big magic button render and then it just comes out like a finished product. No, they render each individual piece separately and then hand it off to a compositor, and then that compositor layers it all together and makes proper lighting adjustments and everything to make it look like a one unified shot, and then renders that as a final product. It's time consuming and expensive. And that's why CG is the most expensive animation medium out there. And then it goes 2D, and then it goes stop motion. Granted, it's also like it's also I'm speaking in a generalization sort of sense here. Obviously, if you're doing something over the top and like crazy with stop motion animation, that can quickly become very expensive, and more expensive than when it would have been if you had just done 2D
I
or
think
CG.
Kubo and the Strings is a good example of that.
Although I would argue that not necessarily Kubo, but I think Missing Link was an example of a stop motion animation that got a little too expensive. Just a smidge. Kubo, I don't think it got too expensive. I think didn't they stay in the $60-80 million range of what Leica's usual budget is? Hold on. And I should say I'm only going off of their standard budgets here. I'm not. So let's see. Leica's usual budget is.
Oh yeah, Nathan, are you supposed to be streaming something? Or are you?
It's loading up.
Okay. All right.
I know it's currently black right now. Hold on.
Yeah, just checking.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, see, their usual budget is 60 million. Missing Link is the odd man out. Missing Link, they suddenly jumped up to 100 million. I don't know what they did with Missing Link, but that's just like, I think that's the outlier in that. Standard-wise, Coraline, they made it for 60 million. Paranorman, they made it for 60 million. Box 12, 60 million. Kubo and the Two Strings, reportedly 60 million as well. So, Missing Link seems to be the outlier. Something happened there.
Something, not entirely sure what.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
if I were a betting man, the outlier that I instantly think of when I think of Coraline versus Paranorman versus Box Trolls versus Kubo and the Two Strings, all those other guys, they are not. Let's see. The biggest, I think Kubo and the Two Strings has the biggest star in the name, and that is Matthew McConaughey is playing the Beetle guy.
Oh, right.
And George Takei is the grandfather. Everybody else is not that. Oh, I guess Ralph Fiennes. Oh, I'm sorry. George Takei wasn't the grandfather. Ralph Fiennes was the grandfather. But anyway, my point is, Matthew McConaughey was the biggest star on that ticket, right? Then we go over to Missing Link. Now, instantly, titular character of Missing Link, frickin' Zach. Oh my god, I can't pronounce. It's the Greek. He's American.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, Zach Galifianakis. Yes. So first of all, he plays the Missing Link. Oh, oof! That's gonna be a big payment for a star.
big money.
Zoe Saldana as Adelina, who is the love interest. But she was more of a character than just love interest. But she was a love interest as well. Stephen Fry, the antagonist. And then the big one, freaking Hugh Jackman as the main character. Like,
that is going to hit a lot.
Yeah, that's probably where the extra $40 million came from, right? Those four people right there.
Yeah, that is a big budget.
So that's my prediction, because all the other Leica movies didn't have those big names attached to the movie. Everything else was relatively. I mean, the biggest out of them, like I said, was Matthew McConaughey. But yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can get this loaded. Okay, I got it loaded up, and I got it to a point where I want it to be. Now I just need to... Oh! Chat wasn't open. Chat is disabled for this live stream. What?
Oh, no!
What?
Now,
Why?
that's impossible.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness, I just realized you guys were looking at a black screen. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to load this up. Why are you disabled? Why
It's not disabled.
Hold on. Let me.
I'm
Our
looking at it.
late April Fool's stream had something to do with that.
Hold on.
It's showing up for me.
Yeah. And it's updating.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the chat.
I see the chat too. Maybe it's on your end.
Pop out chat. Ah, here we go. I just need to update the link. My bad. You. There we go. You're back, chat. Okay, now I need to load up you. Harmony. Haha! Although that overtakes chat. Window adjustments. Let's make you that big. Squeeze. There, and 20 minutes later, I'm ready to to start drawing on this thing.
Alright, man, sometimes it's just like that.
I'll keep Chad here on the side. Cool. Speaking of which, any questions, anybody out there?
Ask us, please. I'm very desperate.
The fan base says, hey guys, I can't stick around for long. I just want to stop by and say hi. Hi!
Hi. He's probably already gone.
Yeah, he probably is.
Hi, bye.
I know he's watching the Oscars.
Well, the Oscars doesn't start for another hour, so.
Yep.
Yeah. But still, I know that he is going to.
Question, why is Jenny?
I have no idea, honestly. Right? You got me there.
Insert. You stole the joke, though. You stole it. You're supposed to say, why is Jenny is the punchline, damn it!
Why does Jenny's left hand have two fingers? It looks like a big finger with a random line in the middle.
What?
It's rough, dude.
What? Hold on. Why does Jenny's left hand have two fingers that looks like it's one thick finger with a random line in the middle?
You're supposed to pair the fingers up so that
That's
it's
fine.
easier to animate.
Yeah, that's Teenage Robot style, man. That's how
Yeah,
you can,
that's just the art style.
that's how you. Hold on. No. Brush. Come on. Yeah, that's Teenage Robot style. You pair them up. And I know that's shoddy cleanup work there, but yeah. Now, speaking of which, I need to make a cleanup layer. Jenny.
Question, how is Jenny today? Alright, an actual question. I have no idea, Plants. Sorry.
She's
Why
a
is
cartoon
Jenny?
character.
How is Jenny? Where is Jenny? When is Jenny? What is Jenny?
How do I want to do this
What are
cleanup? Do I want to do it all in one layer? Do I want to break it down into a couple layers? Well, Jenny's rough is broken down into 3 layers. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I can do that. Let's do her.
Oh, somebody says
Bye.
something in Russian. Time to Google Translate that.
Yeah, sorry, I don't think any of us speak Russian. I'm not sure. I can't speak for everyone here. Wonderful. Is Vexus now technically a domestic terrorist?
Kind of.
Can we say that?
What? I don't even know. What makes... What?
Is Vexus now technically a domestic terrorist? I think she's intergalactic.
I don't think so. I don't know what would make her a domestic terrorist. That's where my confusion is.
I think it's intergalactic at this point. I'm just wondering if if we can say that.
No, like that. I'm genuinely confused. What makes her a terrorist?
Okay, so Dobro Pony says, "Hi, I love this cartoon." That's what that means.
Oh.
Okay. Cool Russian. Cool Russian language.
Jenny, what's the...
Also, is it just me, or did Nathan's mic got worse?
Oh, yeah, it did, because I don't have a mic right now. I'm using my computer audio. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to mention that.
He's going to get a much better mic soon.
I want to get a... Well, they don't know that, because they... We talked about this in a meeting, not in a live stream. But yes, my microphone, I don't have my usual microphone with me, because I want to get a better professional microphone that I can not only attach to my computer, but I can also attach to a camera, so I can film something like live action and all that jazz on my own time, instead of like always like needing to rely on a studio. So in the downtime, I have no microphone. That's a trade-off. My old one is across the country. So I'll probably have one by the next live stream though, for sure. So this is the only time you'll be hearing me with a awful sounding voice input.
Donald Deal asks, "What scene are you guys working on here?"
This is not a scene for
a reboot scene you're working on for the reboot.
This isn't a scene for Rebooted. This is a scene for Reanimated. But I felt it'd be fun just to animate something on stream that concerns Teenage Robot. So here we are.
I'm gonna continue trying to develop some skull-less concepts for the soundtrack. Yay!
Part 2 animatic when? Summer.
Everyone's gonna see me cheat.
Nathan's gonna make a live-action Teenage Robot parody where he's Brad. No, I'm Brad. Nathan can be Sheldon.
I think it'd be funnier if I either retain my role as Smitus and I just like show up with a giant pompadour.
Nice.
Or I put on my fake Jenny voice and I wear pigtails.
Revealed, Jenny's voice actor is Nathan.
Any word on the animation for part 1 of Activation Day?
It's still like not really even on that stage. We're still just.
It's not gonna come quickly.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I've been sort of practicing with animation for this one scene, but I've got a long ways to go. I think Neville was animating some of it earlier this week.
Yeah, Neville was getting one of the butterfly shots, I believe.
Yeah, he was doing an amazing job with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fantastic work.
First episode when? Summer.
I legit was spooked by that sudden appearing voice. Someone said he's doing a fantastic job on that. I'm like, who the hell?
Bye, Trevik!
Hello,
Good to see you
Trevik.
there.
Hey, Trevik, real.
I'm
First
pretty
episode
good,
of Wayne
everybody.
Summer.
I just got a lovely drawing tablet that I could use to make more storyboards.
Woohoo!
Damn.
If I could figure out how to stop this disk from running at 100% on my laptop. I don't understand this problem.
Summer when? This summer.
Hopefully.
Ah, look at that. Perfect. That's how you cheat, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you cheat in making Jenny's cheek and her head. You just use the circle tool. Okay. Back to
Circle tool for the win.
There you go. I'm so glad I can totally draw circles. I'm so glad the main
Circle.
character's head is a circle and I can totally draw them. John Calder asked, does Nora plan to use her age reversal machine to live forever, or does she plan to eventually die? Does she have a plan for Jenny fending for herself after her?
That's something that goes through my mind a lot. That
That is
darn
a really
that freaking
question.
aging
Live
device.
forever machine. It's kind of OP, honestly.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Neither do I.
It was kind of used as not only just a one-off joke, but also a quick solve to a problem they were having in the episode. And,
Convenience.
Yeah, just a quick, convenient problem solver thing, and I'm like, why? 'Cause it just
Why is it canon?
yeah, because it's on a lot of it makes it. I'm stammering a lot, but really it just makes a lot of questions. You know. I'm trying to find a good fix.
Which summer? This one. Donald
I mean, that's
asked,
the
"Hey,
whole. That's
guys."
really the whole teenage robot thing. Jenny is really just meant to be a convenience kind of thing, where like the weapons that she summons are all meant to be convenient and adapted to the situation.
Right, but it was more like this wasn't less a convenience of like something that she's got inside her, and more of a, oh, don't worry, I have this random de-aging device that I've never mentioned before, and now we can use on Sheldon, and then I'll never mention it again. And that was it.
Just gotta bring back more of those like iconic things that just need to come back. It's like you don't want one-offs and then fuck it.
Donald Deal asks, "Hey guys, if you want music to use for the animatic of Part 2 of Activation Day, any idea of what you can use? We would have to either compose our own stuff or get something royalty-free."
We
Well,
got composers. I'm one of them.
Well, I think they mean like they're talking about the animatic, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the test.
Yeah.
Test sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
they're
eventually
saying-
we're gonna get stuff that like we compose ourselves, but like what am I trying to say? I'm also trying. Okay, but with the if for test soundtracks, yeah, you can use whatever, because it's the test soundtrack. It's not it's not the final thing. Only meant to get an idea of tone. It's just it's something that's going to be replaced down the line.
Gauchian asks, "Do you have any advice on how to draw Jenny?"
Circle hourglass.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
And will season 4
Pretty much
have
the
any episodes
circle.
that are based around Sheldon?
Do we have any where he's the primary character?
Or if he's the primary character.
Yeah, I'm thinking. 'Cause, like, I know what they're asking. It's kind of like the 00 Sheldon thing, where it's like Agent 00 Sheldon, where it's like he was the main character of that episode. Or the episode where he starts a pimp ring. Yeah, he was also the primary character in that. I can't think of an episode, though, that we got in season 4 where he's the primary character.
Primary character. I don't know.
Jenny versus Electro from Spider-Man 2. Hey, maybe we can petition Marvel and Disney to throw them into Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No way, Jose.
That's the movie that's coming out this December, right? Right? I'm not losing my mind. That's the No Way Home.
Which
That's
movie?
the Spider-Man No Way Home. That's the thing that.
I have no
I don't know.
idea. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I've been more focused on like Black Widow movie, which I've been waiting almost 2 years for. It feels like.
Well, rumor has it,
No, it's been
Spider-Man No Way Home, that's coming out this December, is going to be a live-action Spider-Verse movie. Because, they confirmed that,
No Way Home is like the Spider-Man 3.
yeah, but they confirmed, basically, that, anyway, they confirmed that Electro, Jamie Foxx's Electro from Spider-Man 2, is going to be in it. And they also confirmed that Alfred Molina from the first Spider-Man 2, Dr. Octopus, is going to be in it. And then Andrew Garfield's stunt double mentioned that he was going to be working on that film. And Andrew Garfield played, Peter Parker, Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man series. And it's just like all these little evidence points are lining up like, so you're making a Spider-Verse movie.
That would be interesting. Stay at least.
Will there be LGBTQ stuff in the fan-made reboot?
Nothing planned for season 4, but season 5, I think, yeah. I don't think we have an episode that's like centered on it though. It's more like there's like, hey, character is that?
Any more appearances of the Lancer?
Yes.
Cool.
That's a definite.
In fact, everybody from the Legion of was it Legion of Doom?
Legion of Evil.
Legion of Evil. Legion of Doom is DC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, every member from the Legion of Evil shows up in season 4.
Question: did Krakus and Smitus survive the junk planet exploding too?
Yes, but they don't show up in season 4 outside of Activation Day. And that's not really spoilers because I'm confirming that they're not appearing. But they are alive. Floating somewhere out there in space.
Any advice on how to draw the Art Deco style?
Simplify, simplify, simplify.
Hmm.
Basic shapes. Jenny's body, look at her. She's got a circle and a literal boxy hourglass for a torso. And then she's got triangles for legs. You know what I mean? So simplify, simplify, simplify when you're trying to do Art Deco. and make things angular, like pointy, sharp, and on top of that, or I mean, you could also get away with roundness, but it's like Art Deco's got a lot of sharp to it. You know, that's what I've noticed most of all. And then on top of that, there's another rule. Oh, keep things kind of mathematical, where lines kind of like to build off of each other in designs and poses and all that jazz. For instance, like this pose in particular. I mean, I have this arm angled a little bit up, so it doesn't, because I'm also working with a kind of a low angle camera angle here. But once we get over here to the final pose, check it out. I have to undo this when I'm done. But look, we got a line swoops in there, the shoulders, follows that right on through. And I think that's the two biggest examples in this. But yeah, try and keep lines building off of one another. Oh yeah, even here, you can kind of see it on this one. Even her, I mean, granted, this arc is coming up to accent her waist, but you can kind of see how these points are kind of still on the line. Anyway, moving back over.
Will there be an appearance by Cthulhu?
Likely not.
Aw.
I sure hope not. I sure hope they don't have to fight Cthulhu.
Hot take! You ready for this? I never found Cthulhu scary. I've seen.
Not in a traditional sense.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse for giant monsters.
Squid or
big squid dragon man, not particularly frightening to me.
I first heard of him from South Park, and they did a pretty good job of making him seem not scary.
Yeah.
So I think that our sun is the closest thing to a Lovecraftian god. Because think about it.
Like the literal sun? Like the star?
Like the literal sun.
Oh, okay.
Literal. It is the closest thing. Number one, the sun was worshipped as a god. First of all.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it is a ball of energy that will blind you if you look directly at it. It is a nightmare of tentacles
Mm-hmm.
that power the earth. I mean, yeah, like, you can kind of understand why people are worshipping it as a god, especially whenever you see, like, total eclipses in certain areas.
Will there be any more appearances of Kenny? He's a pretty cool character.
I think one episode he shows up. I don't know if he shows up outside of that though.
I don't know. I say we could bring him back in season 5.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like, I don't think we have any. We definitely don't have any episodes centered around Kenny right now. It's just I think he shows up. Like, hello.
Will there be a possible return of communist Mickey Mouse?
Yes. Everybody from Legion of Evil shows up. It's a fancy way of confirming that we have a Legion of Evil episode. Something about that pigtails off.
Huh?
I'm looking at my own drawing. Something about that pigtails off.
I don't think it is.
Nathan commits tax fraud. They're on to me! Stream over!
Hey!
Will there be any fan OCs in the series?
I mean, technically speaking, every new character we make is a fan OC. But if you're in reference to the fact that people make like I've seen the rabbit robot OC. I don't follow the names. The red one that's like, is his name Rusty or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that one. And there's the. Isn't it like XJ negative or something?
Are you referring to Zero?
No, because I know Zero. He's got his is just like a character named Zero, isn't it? I'm talking about. Isn't it? It looks like Jenny, only her colors are black and white instead of blue and white.
I'm not sure about this negative character.
This one, you was an XJ negative or something. Anyway, point is, if you're talking about those characters, no, we don't have anything lined up for that because we would need the rights from the original creators.
I mean, Plants seems to remember XJ negative, but I mean, I don't. And he's saying like nobody remembers XJ negative.
We should do an episode in season 5, which is all the fan OCs.
I had, I will say, I don't know, maybe I should say the joke because I don't think it'll ever come into fruition. But we thought, a couple of us thought a while back, thought of a really funny joke. But it would have been so mean. It would have been so mean if it were to go through. I don't know, maybe I'll hold on to it in case it happens. It'd be really funny though. I'm just thinking aloud. It's regarding OCs, but anyway. Let's move on. I think it's a little mean, but I don't think I can say it out loud.
Ooh, say it in the meeting chat.
Okay, hold on. I'll type it out in the meeting chat so I'm not leaving you guys in the dark.
Oh boy, here we go.
You can hear me typing because I don't have a good mic. Yeah, it would be a little mean. I don't think we can do
Okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
Alright. That's not bad. I had a similar idea.
It would be so mean. It'd be so mean, though. I don't think we could do that.
I mean, I'm gonna say right now that I think someone paid, like $10,000 for their OC to appear in an anime for 3 seconds, and all that happened was they got their face slammed in by a door.
Oh, maybe.
So
maybe.
Didn't
So,
Deathstroke from DC
it
start
would
off
be
as
pretty
like
funny.
a fan-made character? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, John Caller asks, will there be any tongue-in-cheek references to Invader Zim or the Urkin Empire since the two fandoms overlap a bit?
There used to be.
There was.
Went away at the dodo.
Yeah.
I
played Gur.
You made a good Gur. You had a good Gur voice.
Thank you.
So let's see. I can harken back to that. The end of the final episode of season 5 used to have a cameo.
4.
4? Did I say 5?
You said 5.
Yeah, I said 5. The ending episode of season 4 used to have a cameo from Invader Zim, where Invader Zim showed up at the very end, and with the Urkin Empire, and was like, we're gonna invade now, and it would have just been like an ending joke, you know, like aha, there it is, and then we cut to credits, you know. Then we realized, first of all, the ending to the episode changed a bit, and then suddenly we realized, wow, this kind of joke doesn't really fit with the tone of the episode anymore. You know, we kind of we're having this kind of big, grand, serious episode with some jokes. I'm not saying it's all humorless, but all of a sudden we're ending. We have this big moment at the end. Because I'm really trying really hard not to spoil things. We had this big moment at the end of this season 4 season, and now we're ending on a joke before we cut to credits. That doesn't seem very fitting, and so we rewrote the ending, and now it has something different. And the Invader Zim cameo is on the cutting room floor.
I want to be a mongoose.
So close so far. Maybe in season 5 we'll have a spot where Zim or Gur or somebody can show up in the background or something.
Could Zim take Jenny? Ain't no goddamn way.
Oh no. No way. Unlike a biased Nicktoons poll that occurred a long time ago, we recognized that Jenny would wipe the floor with Zim very quickly. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Freaking, for those who don't know, a long time ago, Nicktoons, which is the network where Nickelodeon airs their cartoons that I think aren't in production anymore. That's that's their go-to channel for reruns and stuff. Well, anyway, Nicktoons was having a contest of you vote for this big fight contest, and whoever wins the fight contest, their show gets a marathon. And they had freaking Jenny was there, Zim was there, Plankton was there, freaking Azula, I think, from the Avatar series. Oh, this is going so far back. I think a character from one of the Cat Dog. Definitely somebody from Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents. I can't remember who though. Anyway, I think Crocker or Vicky, someone. I don't know. Anyway, point is, first round, Jenny versus Zim. Jenny wins the popular vote, but for some reason they call it for Zim and move Zim along anyway. There's a whole stink about it way back in the day. And I remember this vividly because as a kid, because I remember the reasoning that Jenny, that they said in the episode, they didn't just say oh, the fans won, the fans voted it, yada yada, we're moving on. No, they had to give a reason why Jenny would lose the fight, and they said, and I quote, Jenny would probably feel bad for Zim and let her guard down. What? What? At what point in the entire series of Teenage Robot has Jenny ever felt bad about an invading alien about to blow up Earth, or trying to enslave the Earth? She felt bad. She felt bad for Kilgore because Kilgore's pathetic, but here comes an alien down to Earth. Urkin Armada implied.
I think the closest she ever got to that was during the theater episode where the aliens came down screaming "Invasion, invasion!" and she thought that they were invading, but they were like, "What? Who on earth would just come down screaming invasion if they are planning an invasion? We came to warn you that there is an invasion coming by very pretty people."
Yeah, but even that was, she felt bad because she jumped to a conclusion. She didn't feel bad because they were just I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning. She meant Do they mean that like she felt bad that like Zim wasn't the best invader, and thus like lets her guard down or something?
That's so out of character.
Yeah, she would take no chances. She'd just like, oh, you're trying to invade? Okay, bye. Kick. Anyway.
As a pet.
Hell, you know what? Guarantee ya, I bet she would punch Zim for enslaving Gur in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, she'd be like, you got a robot as a servant? I don't think so. Punt.
She tried to get Gur a job at Wisley World.
Yes, exactly. That's how the Teenage Robot Invader Zim crossover episode would end. Zim orbiting the Earth and Gur working a hot dog stand at Wisley World. Or a taco stand, I guess, because that would be more in character.
No, we'd be doing maintenance on the ride. You'd be like, well, what seems to be the problem? And he just like smacks it with a wrench and it explodes and he's just like, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I watch Nicktoons all the time, but I agree that was like there was one time like that was kind of a dumb reasoning there, guys. Could have gone. I understand you had to explain the whole Zim winning thing, but there could have been like maybe you could have like made the excuse of like maybe the Irkin tech was a little bit too advanced for Jenny to handle, which I thought, all right, Earth versus alien tech. I'd be okay with that. But it doesn't matter. It didn't matter anyway. Plankton ended up winning the contest, so of course we had another marathon of SpongeBob. Kind of suspect. How Plankton beat Azula, I have no idea. I have no clue.
Well, Plankton is an evil genius, as said in the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, but isn't he always like the evil genius the same way Wile E. Coyote announces himself to be a genius?
Yeah.
With it like a...
Will Jenny talk at all in the show?
Of course, yes. we're only doing
She has the voice. She has the voice. Do not worry.
Yes, she has a voice actress. We're only doing the whole not talking thing as activation day. Don't worry. It's not gonna be a full season thing.
She's voiced by Dan Aykroyd.
Scott!
Or better yet, Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Scott!
Trash robot man. Instead of lasers, she's just shooting trash at
Okay, action.
Forgetting the proper way of doing it.
Axel really does not like this electric guitar. Or maybe he's just getting annoyed with it.
That's a concept I didn't even think of. I guess that would be true, wouldn't it? Birds getting annoyed at particular musical notes and stuff. Because like unlike a dog, I there's only a select few species of animal that can recognize a beat and like a note, right? And a bird is one of them. That even passed through my mind because a dog, you never see a dog getting like annoyed at like some music they're listening to. But I guess a bird would because they would be able to recognize the notes and stuff.
Chill out, buddy. You're fine. Yeah.
Are there any fully animated parts yet?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, we have a couple rough animations. If you, although I think I'd have to ask NebelCon permission if I want to show that.
It's okay for you to show mine. I'm giving you permission to show mine if it's not spoily.
Something happened there.
Other than the Zoom crossover idea, what cartoon crossovers did you have in mind?
Well, like I said, we were trying to avoid crossovers. It's not something that I wanted to pursue. The Zim thing was just going to be a one-off gag. You know, it wasn't going to be a whole crossover event. It was just like, there he is, bye. Yeah, we don't really have any other crossover ideas. It was just like I said, just a quick little event. I think there was talk a long time ago, and it was quickly shot down like the moment it was mentioned. Turning the Halloween episode into a Danny Phantom crossover. But that was, yeah, like I said, that was like shot down the moment it was mentioned. So trying to avoid crossovers.
Who would win in a fight between Nora and the CPS?
That's a question.
That's a question indeed. I don't. On what grounds? Like fighting for what?
Yes, high axle. Oh. Sometimes you can only spot these things when you're doing cleanup. That's better. There you are. Now just other hand.
I didn't know the El Tigre creator wanted to do a Teenage Robot crossover.
Wait, what?
It might be misread information or something like that. I don't trust it.
Is it a sin that I prefer just using the circle tool whenever I need to do circle cleanup? Like there, but ta-da! I did her palm. I just used the circle tool and contorted it into her palm. Is that bad? Like, should I be trying to?
No, that tool exists for the purpose of drawing circles.
Like I've seen a bunch of animators do like cleanup live and all that jazz, and they always just like they don't use the other little tools, and I'm just like, why though? It's like, isn't it like, aren't they there to do exactly what you're trying to do? I don't know. I feel bad sometimes. I feel like
Have you ever tried to freeze?
Well, you're not.
Perfect circle.
I feel like I'm cheating though.
Fun.
Like I feel like I'm cheating.
Who cares?
I mean, it's there for a reason. It's not like you're just stealing from some random site and using that without permission or something.
Hey, chill out.
Let's see.
How many references will be in Activation Day?
Reference?
I mean, like to other Teenage Robot episodes, I think there's a couple already. In terms of like references in general to like other media, not a lot. I don't think. I don't think.
I know for a fact that you like copied a few shots from like Godzilla or something.
Well, yeah, that's just because I like the shot, and like I know how I can use that shot in this episode, like, and then I used it. But like I'm thinking more like, I think they mean like, wow, look at that in the background. Look, it's a cameo, or like, wow, they said the thing from another thing. You know, I don't think we have any, because, and even then, some of the Teenage Robot references, like, didn't we cut the C-class asteroid joke?
I don't know.
No, we
I
didn't.
don't remember.
We cut it short, but we didn't cut it completely.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Chill out with.
The bird keeps trying to pluck my hair out.
Will there be more magical / supernatural enemies? Most of them were of scientific origin in the original series, but there was some magic like pit crystals and hopping vampires.
Pit crystals were not
Hopping
magic. Pit crystals weren't magic. They were regarded as like some as an energy source that corrupts. You know, the whole power corrupt thing. In terms of the vampires, I don't think they were
The Jiangshi?
The Jiangshi. I don't think they were vampires.
Isn't Jiangxi from Chinese folklore?
Hold on.
And they were in Japan?
Oh yeah, they're
Maybe
Chinese. They're
they
Chinese
like
hopping
devil.
vampires or hopping zombies. Is a type of reanimated corpse in Chinese legends and folklore. I mean, I guess you can regard them as mythology, but I kind of just saw them as like little mutant abominations, you know, like that just so happened to reference the Jiangxi, you know. I never really thought of them as like, oh look, supernatural stuff, a teenage robot. It's like they were defeated by a freaking knock on the head. If they were supernatural, why did that kill them?
Who would win in a fight, Vextus or Filthy Frank?
Filthy Frank. His power is unknown.
Yeah, somehow.
He'd be screaming, "Know your place, trash," and then that'd be his finishing move, stuffing her and trashing him.
Zero would like a kiss. Mwah. There you go, Zero.
But yes, there are teenage robots, a lot of cartoons, including Godzilla. Yeah. There are a few shots in Activation Day where I totally got from some of the Godzilla movies I enjoyed.
No, he's talking about the original series.
Oh, that too.
That also had the Godzilla reference.
I mean, wasn't that Sponge Monster kind of like a Godzilla thing?
That was the first time they were dabbling with kaiju stuff, yes, and then they just
But
straight
it
up.
also had a part where the sponge monster was actually fighting Godzilla.
Yeah,
there was.
It
I
goes.
do remember.
And it's funny because it goes season to season. In the first season, they had the episode that has the big sponge monster, obviously in reference to kaiju stuff from Japan. Then in the second season, they go visit Japan to go collect her parts, and then Godzilla's there. And then they complete it by season 3 in like the foreground when she's going to visit Japan again. Godzilla is fighting the sponge monster, and they give her a wave like hi.
I wonder if the sponge monster has a name.
I think it does actually.
Like Spongezuki.
I can't remember what the name is, but I could have sworn that it does have a name.
Okay, who would win in a fight, Jenny Wakeman or Godzilla?
Well, Godzilla, because he's legally not allowed to die.
Well, no, I mean, well, he wouldn't. It doesn't necessarily mean defeated.
It depends.
I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny, all right?
No, yeah, I get you. I'm thinking on this though.
Sorry, I take things slow.
Does she have the oxygen destroyer or any sort of Mecha Godzilla weapon? Does she have it? Are we just straight up Jenny Wakeman as she is versus Godzilla as he is? I'm gonna need some qualifications here.
Maybe if she has like Wakeman and Sheldon helping her, then maybe she'll have a chance. But just one-on-one, I don't know. I feel like it could go either way.
Is it a bar fight or the final battle fight?
Right?
I mean, the strength of 1,070 men kind of helps.
True.
Not against Atomic Breath.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, if she's got like if she's piloting Mecha Godzilla, I can see that maybe because Mecha Godzilla, that's kind of his thing, wiping the floor with Godzilla.
I mean, yeah,
all the way, especially the recent one. But like that's going going back to frickin' 1974. Like that's kind of Mecha Godzilla's thing. He shows up and he wipes the floor with Godzilla. So if she has Mecha Godzilla, she's piloting that and using all those anti-Godzilla weapons. I can see that. If it's just Jenny, I think she's in trouble.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. See ya, guys.
See ya.
Later.
Okay, adios then. He's gone.
Oh yeah, does Misty count as supernatural?
No, at least that's not. If there's fan interpretations of what she is, I do not subscribe to the theory that she's a demon. I subscribe to the fact. I've subscribed that her powers are scientifically explained, not she's a demon. Oh. What the?
Huh?
What happened?
What the who now?
I think Google Chrome is having a little bit of a seizure. Hold on.
Matter hoo-ha?
What?
Not hoo-ha. Oscar.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, maybe that'll help. Google Chrome, my system popped up, said I was running out of memory, but it said Google Chrome was using 38 gigabytes of RAM, which is impossible.
Wow.
Like, literally, my system doesn't have 38 gigabytes of RAM to give. Literally impossible for it to use that much data. So, I closed Firefox, and now it seems to be running okay.
Smash Up Matchup asked, "What are you working on?"
I'm
And
working
there's other
on
people
cleanup.
that just joined, so explain to them too.
I'm working on cleanup for my shot and reanimate it, and so I thought it'd be fun to like stream it for everybody because it'd be very. It's Teenage Robot.
Which is your way of saying that we have nothing new to show you.
Hey. Well, if you're just gonna say it.
It's because we're working really hard on the animatic, right?
Yeah.
We are, I promise.
Yeah.
Alright? I lost
We are.
a music file, for God's sake.
It's all your fault with that music file. We would have had something to show today if it weren't for that. How dare you?
Oh, Axel, I didn't mean to scare you, sorry. It is getting to that point. It is getting to that point in the year where my room just randomly decides to become burning Godzilla. Jesus Christ. So hot. And it does not help keeping my computer cool so that I can actually process these intense electric guitar sounds.
Her body at least. I mean, I haven't done her face. Oh, Oscars are starting. Maybe we can like we have another. Normally we would end at this time because that's this is when we 2 hours ago is when we normally started. But since I was 40 minutes late because I was eating dinner, we're gonna be going for another 40 minutes. So yeah, someone has, I don't know what that was. XJ0. It was really random. I usually only get those when I'm like really straining my computer. I don't even have that many files open.
So
I just have close. I have Discord, Google Chrome, OBS, and Harmony. I don't have anything else. It's so weird. Anyway, let's see if I can. Let's see if we can like if we can announce some Oscars as they're for the next 40 minutes.
I just realized I didn't see any movies this year except for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Well, pretty much. I think that's like similar for everybody else, isn't it? Because if they weren't released on streaming. Hey, I will say though, I did the whole world premiere online thing for Mitchell's vs. Machines this past yesterday, Saturday. Very good movie. When it comes out April 30th, everyone should see it. Very good movie.
To Nate and crew, did you know Viacom CBS co-owns Miramax?
What now?
Not off the top of my head, no. I did not know that.
I have no idea
Yeah,
what
you
Miramax is.
I don't know either, but it's co-owned by Viacom CBS, apparently.
Well, good for it.
Not seeing any winners right now. I think they're still doing red carpet stuff at the present time. If not, just opening
I mean, yeah, they're probably just starting.
When are they going to learn that...
Hi, guys.
Hello. When are they going to learn that they would have such a higher rating of people watching if they kept the event to under an hour? You know, or like an hour showtime, you know? Nobody likes to sit around for 3 hours watching people read names of winners. It's like, just read it and then we can all go home. At least the people sitting in the audience are like, granted, there's no one there. But you know what I mean? Like, for the audience watching television, it's like, just read the winner list and then we'll flip the channel to something we want to watch.
Like, how did the movies do? Jeez. Honestly, I really don't see. I really don't. God, I don't know. Forgot where I was going with that. So never mind then.
Oh, we got a best original screenplay. That was literally just announced. The best original screenplay goes to Promising Young Woman, written by Emerald Fennell.
Goes to what?
Promising Young Woman.
Oh.
Which is the name of the movie.
I
know it sounds like I'm saying it goes to a promising young woman. Emerald Fennell. No, that's the name of the movie.
That was best original screenplay.
All right, Traumatize Antonia. That was a weird. For some reason, Google or YouTube told me to censor that comment. I don't know why, but there you go. You're okay. His trace is pretty good. It's not a trace. It's not a trace. It's cleanup. I drew the lines.
Oh my god.
I drew the sketch lines underneath it. I animated it.
Nope.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a trace.
not a trace.
Good job, Butch Hartman.
This was good.
I feel like drawing something now.
See, that's too glitchy for me now. That's not that bad.
I only have 4 hours left to do a Draw Jenny Sunday.
Oh god, I forgot that was a thing.
I participated once and I never participated again because I'm busy. I have other things to do. Even now, after this stream's over, I gotta freaking make a compilation video and upload it somewhere for assignments and. Maybe I should draw her face out of How's that? All right, come on, guys. How's that single eyebrow coming along? I get it. You're seeing me undo a lot, but this is cleanup animation. For your information, this is how it works. You draw a line 1,000 times until you like what you drew. Because there's no, although it would help if my mouse cursor would stop switching to the select tool and stay on the pencil brush. But that one didn't register. That one was just a dot. That one's not bad. And also, there we go. I'm checking if there's any other recent Oscar winners. Nope. It's still the most recent
one. Do you guys think the TSA would beat me up if I wore an Angry Birds shirt saying "I'm the bomb" into an airport?
Probably.
Kicker, this is all still on the same layer. I mean, yeah, I probably should be drawing the face on a different layer, but I mean, I did the roughs that way, and I was just gonna follow exactly what my roughs were. I didn't label them, but I have this cord down here on one layer. I have Jenny's entire body on the other, and I got her wings on the other layer. And I was just gonna follow that. But yes, technically I should be drawing this on her face on a separate layer. Makes at least it's. I'd probably be doing that if this was like if this was a talking scene, and there was going to be a lot of frame changes for her face. But this is not like this isn't. It's more so her face is going from one pose to the next, like the rest of her body. So it's like I just felt like.
How many layers are in this single frame, I guess?
Well, I guess let's see. We have a few layers here that are it's rough cleanup in this drawing one. I think is something that happened later down the line. Poses, I think that's the background. Pegs the camera. Drawing and drawing 3 or something, or other things that happen down the line. Color card is the gray backdrop. Shot 1, it's not visible, but shot 171 fix is, I think, my reference sketches. And poses is also, I think, something to do with references. But some of the stuff I can eventually delete.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I'm about to do what's called
You'll not believe this, but I got my voice actor buddy, Brock Baker, to do an impression of the crater critters.
What are the crater critters?
You know,
ones
those
from,
rock guys.
From Last Action Zero.
Oh. What did you ask them to say? What did you ask him to say?
Here.
You haven't been getting a recommended daily allowance of iron.
Oh, okay.
It's Skyway Patrol!
Mm-hmm.
That was spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
I helped emphasize the word iron so that Brock would get it right. Did a great job with your animations, Nathan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Almost done. Because this is also you're seeing me figure this out, pretty much for the. I don't think I've ever done cleanup for teen. I've done a bunch of rough animations for Teenage Robot before. I don't think I've ever done. Oh, I did. I did a long time ago. I did cleanup animations such a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The last time I did cleanup animation for Teenage Robot was for Kilgore, for that the audition thing. That was the last animated thing I did for Teenage Robot. And I'm trying. And through this process, I'm trying to remember how I did cleanup. So that's why I'm like, I'm always switching tools and stuff. See that? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Perfect. There we are. And then I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build it manually. Line tool. Right. So then I'm gonna go here. Tweak it. Tweak the size. Widen it. There we go.
We might need some chat moderation.
What's going on? Ah, okay. Yeah, I see something. Put user in this timeout. Timeout.
Someone asked, how long have you guys been working on this?
On what?
On, I guess, the reboot.
The reboot? Oh my goodness, since 2014. Off and on. It's just because it's just a hobby. As for this, like my shot for reanimated, this has been the bottom of my priority list. Like bottom. Like if you were to organize my day and stuff I gotta do per week, you would find this reanimated shot at the very bottom. Everything else I had comes first. And so with that in mind, I was assigned this shot, I want to say November of 2019. I think. Right? Yeah. I think November of 2019 I was given this shot for reanimating. Like I said, I have not. It's been very low on my priority list. In fact, I've often considered Teenage Robot stuff for Rebooted more important to work on. Hence why the Activation Day Part 1 came. I finished before I finished this reanimated shot. Or I mean, at least in editing. Obviously, we all worked on it. I mean, you know what I mean. Surprising you've been working on this for 7 years and it's yet to get this idea off the ground. Well, like I said, it's a hobby. We're not doing this for money. You know, it also happened in those 7 years. I went to high school for 4 years, and then I graduated high school, and now I'm in college, and I have this semester and next semester left in college, and I'm going to graduate college, and then I'm going to be trying to find an actual job in the animation industry. So it's not like, oh, I've just been sitting around with my thumb up on my butt,
It's a hobby, man.
No, it's a hobby. I got stuff to do outside of it. That's actually like towards like getting a job and a career and stuff like that. I mean, I don't talk about this stuff like I do outside of the project, really, but I could like, I mean, I could. Something about the tattoo. Is it too thin? Maybe it's too thin.
Boy, I sure wish this program had a free select tool.
It's about matchup. Who said anything about doing it for money? I'm not saying about doing it for money, but I'm saying that it's because it's a hobby, we can't rely on it for a source of income. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that's like we get up in the middle, we get up and we just jump on board, start doing. It's like, no. Some of us have jobs, and some of us, like me, have college to get to. So it's like, it's school. So it's when I say that this isn't for profit, that we're not getting paid, it's like that's saying that it's not something that we can rely on versus like school or a job or something. That's why it's relegated to a hobby, something we do in the free time, not something we get up and do as a primary thing of our day. You know what I'm saying?
It just happens to have a big a lot of attention drawn towards it. It just happens to be pretty popular.
Right.
And it's a good look on like resumes and stuff. So it can help boost chances of, impressing people, but it's just a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can like 100% rely on as, just.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually been something I've been like. I'm not saying I don't have. Okay, this is gonna sound kind of mean, but I can mean this completely earnestly. Like it's even something that like I've actually kind of every once. Sometimes I mention it, sometimes I don't. But when I fill out all these different like portfolios and resumes and whatnot, I've been pursuing internships and stuff like that. Sometimes I mention Rebooted. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just completely leave it off the resume or the cover letter or whatnot, and I just focus on other stuff that I've done, to try and. I guess it depends on what I'm applying for. I kind of adapt the resume or the cover letter for that. But like, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, it's not the primary thing that I do, and it's not the primary thing that Eric does, and it's not the primary thing that Raptor Lad does. It's not the primary thing that we wake up in the day to do. It's like we got other stuff, and then we got Teenage Robot Rebooted.
Personally, I do like to put this project on my resume.
I do. No, yeah.
I do like to.
I gotta be careful though, because like what I constantly think of is that it does like because I guess we can try and make that explanation a little bit more clear about how this is a hobby project and we're not, because the people see that. What people see is that you started this in 2014 and you don't have an animated episode out yet. It's like, yeah, that's what they see. They don't see the whole, this is a hobby and I am dealing with school and other projects on top of this.
Yeah. But whenever I put it down, it's mostly in a context of, hey, these guys think I have the worth to be working on this, so maybe you guys need to give me a chance as well.
True. I guess it's different. I'm speaking from the perspective of the guy who put it, like the guy who started it and like clawed everybody together. That's we have different. The eye is on me. You know what I'm saying? Like these like why isn't this finished yet? Person who's working through high school and college. You said it. You said the reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, on top of that, again, like I said, this isn't the only project that I've done. I've directed a Wendigo short film. I've directed a short film that's gangsters and mobs and cops. That's black and white. I've done a lot of stuff. It's just one of those things where it's like it's stuff. Life happens.
But I mean, I haven't done as much stuff as I wish I have, and this is a good way for me to start building up on that. I mean, I'm not planning on going into directing or anything, so that's not the kind of responsibility I need to be, that's not the kind of responsibility I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just, hey, I make music, I can reach what, quote unquote deadlines, quite nicely. I have a good job at perceiving this kind of stuff. That's the part that really needs to be focused on, rather than just I don't control when the thing gets released.
Right.
Like I don't control whenever it gets done. I just control. Hey, there's a music. There's a music right there.
Mm-hmm. And for sure, you guys, I don't know if I made this clear, but for sure, the stuff you should be putting stuff that you make on this on your portfolio stuff. I've already put a couple storyboards on that I've done that I was proud of for Teenage Robot in my storyboard reel. You know what I'm saying? It's it's in there with all the other stuff I've done. You guys should do the same for sure. If I haven't made that clear.
I mean, I'm definitely once it does end up getting, I'm definitely putting the butterfly track on my portfolio, 100%. And if I can make the cat scene as great as it was, then I lost it.
So when did you guys make your first animation? You mean in general or for Teenage Robot?
Those are two very different answers.
Yes, I want that to be clarified.
My first finished piece of animation was 2 months ago. And it was my shot for the reanimated project.
Let's see. I guess I can answer both. The first thing that I ever animated for Teenage Robot Rebooted was the teaser trailer. That was all me. Because I wanted to come out with a bang. It's let's make this project. And I learned a lot from that, and I've improved a lot from that. There's a lot of stuff I would do differently. In that trailer. In terms of the first animation I ever made in my life, I don't remember it. I don't. It's hard because I started making movies. I got my first camera in the 3rd grade, and I instantly just started making movies and stuff. I can't remember when I started making animation with that camera, because I technically started doing it. I mean, okay, so it was a digital video camera that recorded on discs, right? This was before the age of it might have been of the age, but I didn't have the camera. I didn't have a camera that made video files to be imported through a scan disc or something. I had a camera that had the disc, and you had the only way to put that disc onto a computer is that you had to get the proper card, the proper player, or you had to connect the camera directly to the computer, which we rarely did. When I made movies with that thing, I made them I filmed them in sequential order, scene to scene. You know what I mean? So when you hit play on that camera and hook that up to a TV, you would just go through the video library chronologically and just play the quote-unquote movie that I made. Because I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to get the videos off that thing. I was only in freaking 3rd, 4th grade. The first time I made a proper animation with that camera, with actual it was stop motion, because I did stop motion in the sense that I hit record, made a 1-second video, stopped recording, moved everything, hit record again, made a 1-second video, stopped recording, and then like that was the slowest stop motion you can ever think of.
I used to do that too.
The first time I realized I could take pictures instead of video, and then order those pictures into a sequence through a computer. I think that was 6th grade, and that's when I made.
It took me forever to figure that out.
Yeah, and I think that was Lego Obi-Wan Kenobi versus General Grievous. I recreated that, the Revenge of the Sith fight. I think that was my first animation, proper animation ever.
I think 6th grade is when I started like experimenting with stop motion, and I didn't learn how to edit until like my freshman year of high school.
I believe my first animation was 2015. I don't remember, but of course it was like a hand drawn animation. So it was like, I was new with digital art, so it was just like 2 frames per second, dumb stick figure kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, if we're counting that, freaking, I don't even know. Because I also had a Nintendo DSi, or a Nintendo DS, whatever, and they had Flipnote Studio, and I made little drawing animations on that, little stick figure things. I don't even know I don't even remember that. It's on some Nintendo DS memory chip somewhere. I don't even know.
I really wish I could have experimented with Flipnote, because I really do enjoy, just that simple animation style whenever it's done right. Because some people can animate really well in Flipnote Studio.
I
it's crazy. It is crazy.
I never figured that out. All my stuff.
Otherwise, I don't animate all that much. I mean, I recently completed a storyboard for a series I want to develop eventually. But that's just like a 2-minute long clip, I think. 2-minute clip of just some scene.
That's the way to do it.
Alright, I finished my drawing.
What?
I'll post it here in a second. This was the fastest drawing I've ever done. It took me like 10 minutes. And it's Jenny as a pirate.
Pirate Jenny?
Yeah, I got the idea from like last month or the month before when Nathan did Pirate Jenny, and this is my take on the idea.
Oh no.
My God.
I haven't seen it yet. Hold on.
Oh my God.
I'm adjusting eyebrow size.
Hold on. I don't know why anyone hasn't done that yet.
Oh. Okay. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show the stream. Give me 1 second.
It's because it's nice.
Browser. Wow. There it is. Pirate Jenny, everybody. She's downloading a torrent. Don't try this at home.
Please don't.
Oh, there it is. Yar har figlity.
Being a pirate is right to be. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate carefree. You are a pirate.
Necrolotus says 7 years later, and they're finally animating.
You know what?
Guess what?
You know what? You know what? Fine, I'm leaving. You know what?
Oh, bad news. This isn't even the reboot project.
Yeah, this is reanimated.
This is reanimated. I'm not doing a reboot right now. This isn't like look, guys. I do other things. This isn't the only thing I do. Maybe I should just talk. Maybe I should just have a stream day where I just talk about the other things I do. Maybe it would like release some stress off my shoulders.
Oh, what else do you do?
Well, I'm putting together. I mean, in terms of like 2D animation and stuff, I'm putting together a pitch for another series that's like for. I mean, granted, it's also for a class assignment, so it's not. It's I would do Teenage Robot, but I think that would be unfair, as it's not my original property. It's like, it's got to be something that's like original. So I'm putting it to get it that pitch. I've been trying to do a stop motion short film, but COVID came along and kind of screwed some plans up. So I've been waiting for my opportunity to get back in the game. So hey, vaccine's rolling out, so I hopefully can make that stop motion short film by the end of my years in college here. It's like 7 to 10 minutes long, and it's following. I'm excited for it. It follows the story. It's a short film about Medusa, the actual the Greek mythological figure. She's the main character, and I'm excited for that. And you got a puppet. It's cool. There's still some tweaks I want to make with it. I want to make some better facial expressions, but that's coming along.
I like Medusa.
I know and my whole thing is that we've never seen the story from her perspective. You only see the ending where Perseus comes along and lops her head off. I want to make her story. Then I have a bunch of live action stuff. Like I said, I directed a mobster movie, a short film. It was only about 10 minutes. And then I directed I did a documentary about again, that one was a class assignment, but I tried to make the most of it, had fun with it. It was a documentary I got about a guy's poor experience taking care of his drunk sister. And the title, to give you an idea of what it entailed, the title of the documentary was "We're Gonna Need More Clorox Wipes." And then I did a fun one. This was back in my freshman year of college. I did a short film, Samurai versus Gunslinger. No, that was the premise. The name of the movie was Spaghetti Samurai. And the whole thing was a samurai walks into a field, sits down, having a nice day. Then a gunslinger shows up with a wanted poster, and the wanted poster has a samurai on, and then they fight. That's the movie, or the short film. I keep saying movie, but so like I said, this isn't the only thing I do. Okay, Teenage Robot Rebooted is not the only thing that I do.
I mean, outside of Rebooted, I actually just got accepted into another animation thing, a new series called Limelight. It's basically like a mixture of Has-Been Hotel and The Princess and the Frog.
How have I not heard of this?
So, I mean, it was on that casting call website. And I mean, it's another not-for-profit animation series, but they seem to have a really good idea on what's going down. And of course, I'm a musician there as well. I mean, but that's about the only other thing that I do outside of Rebooted. But of course, then I deliver pizzas.
Yeah. I had a job once. one good summer a long time ago. I had an actual job, and then I went back to school, and I'm a full-time. I'm pretty much I mean, granted, now this past semester's been easier on me. This is the first semester I didn't have an overbearing schedule. Every semester that I've had in college, I've had 16 credit class total schedule. And my college recommends 12. So, just to put it in perspective, they recommend you stick with 12, and I've been doing 16 every semester. This is the first semester where I'm under 16. Yay! But
take a nap.
But I followed it up instead of doing a full 16 credits schedule, because they recommend 12, but 16 is the max you can do without them requiring you pay more. My college, at least, So 16 is their cap before you got to start paying extra for taking so many classes. So this semester, I took on it. I applied for an internship, and I've been doing mostly After Effects animations for the internship. I animated a dog barking. I did some text animations. and I animated a globe for Earth Day, like a little digital Earth, all that jazz. Anyway, but yeah, so like
Dude,
I said,
take a nap.
I know, my sleep is
Take a
awful.
good coma.
I fear that I'm slowly scrubbing years off my later life because of how I think I overwork myself. But I'll figure things out eventually.
Slip into a coma and forget all of your words.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like I'll be like the guy who worked on frickin' The Thing when that where he did you guys do you guys know about this?
I don't think so. No.
Maybe it'd be something I need to avoid. Honestly, it's not a story that you should repeat. But the guy who did the VFX for The Thing, the original 1982 masterpiece.
Yeah.
It was crazy, right? All those crazy effects. He went through so much of that. He did all that in such a. I think the total. I need to put the number. Hold on. It was such a short amount of time he did all this. I need to see where's the effects. Where's the effects guy? Rob Botton. Yeah, I think Rob Botton is the guy. Yes, Rob Botton. This guy. He almost killed himself doing this. I'm trying to find like the story of like how much he worked on it because I know what happened, but I don't want to get to what happened until I say the accomplishment. Okay, here we go. He was 23 years old when he was working on The Thing. That's insane. Oh my god, I'm 22. I gotta make something.
Good God.
He was 23 years old when he did the special effects for The Thing. And he worked 7 days a week for 56 weeks.
Good God.
And he was often sleeping in the studio. Like, he often didn't go home. He was just like there working on it. And he put himself through so much hell that after it was done filming, he checked himself into a hospital. And he was treated for what's the term? Sleep deprivation, immense sleep deprivation. And he was in that hospital for I think a month, if not 2 weeks.
Makes that move even scarier.
Yeah, there was a whole literal definition of blood, sweat, and tears went into the making of The Thing. Literal. To the point where I think they actually used some fake. I think they used some pig's blood in a few scenes. But well, how old was I when I started this? I was 15. Yeah, so I was 15 years old when this started, and that year I turned 16. Because I started it in the summer, and my birthday's in the winter. So, again, putting things into perspective. I know it looks like from the outside that there were a bunch of... I guess it goes to show that the stuff we create is professional looking, so I guess that's good on us. But, like, we are really a bunch of... we're just a ragtag team of amateurs, guys. We're not professionals yet.
Not yet.
We're still working on that. A lot of us are still in college. That's why it's taking so long.
If I'm lucky, I'm not going to be in college.
I wasn't like 15. I was 15. No, I'm not 20. No, I'm 22 right now. 15 plus 7 is 22. No, I was 15 for the majority of 2014. but my birthday's in the winter. So at the end of 2014, I was 16.
2014, I was 20. Except I didn't join the production crew until 2017. So I was...
How much art do you have from when you were 15 that has not
22.
aged at all with your present day art style? I don't really have an art style. I've never, like... I've adapted. I've made a bunch of stuff in other people's art styles, and I've done stuff in, like, that represent other art styles. Where, like, maybe if I take this, maybe I could take, sometimes I just have, like, an exercise of, like, maybe I'll take an art style from Samurai Jack and fuse it with the art style of some anime. I don't know. But I don't really have one where it's like, it's mine. You know what I mean? Even when I draw stuff, like, when I just sketch things, I'm looking at my art. Yeah, I don't really have an art style. I do definitely have stuff that looks similar because I've been drawing Teenage Robot now since high school. So obviously, if I were to take a look at this Jenny and compare it to my old other drawings of Jenny, Art Deco, so it's probably similar. But again, I don't really have an art style. I probably should try to develop one at some point, but like, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable in just like mimicking art styles that I like.
I find it really hard to develop an art style. I mean, like, with me personally,
like, I guess I do have a style, but I can't ever actually see that. I see the flaws, the minuscule flaws that nobody else would really acknowledge or think would be intentional. But in my mind, I know that that's wrong even after I post it. So I don't really feel like it's a style, even though it is, I guess.
That'd be the curse of the artist. You always see it's like the cake analogy, right? Where it's like this is why it's bad to compare yourself to other artists out there. When you compare yourself to, say, one of your favorite artists or like some other artist who's doing something similar, you tend to, and I say you in a general sense, not you specifically. When you do that, you tend to look at your drawing and you only see the flaws, right? And you look at theirs and you see nothing but gold. You know, it's like amazingness. The audience sees two cakes.
Yes. They see two cakes and they think, "Holy shit, two cakes!"
Yes, exactly. That's why that's why you can't be so hard on yourself, because the audience isn't looking at your stuff and seeing awfulness. They're not. You're doing that to yourself. And again, I'm saying, I'm saying
it's
you
only
in a general sense.
It's only the critics that you got to worry about.
Right.
The actual critics.
Is there a secret character in this fan-made reboot? There's a lot of secret characters in this fan-made reboot. We haven't announced all the villains. We have a few that have gone unannounced. All right, now we start up the beautiful act. First of all, I should turn this camera off so it's not distracting me. We start the beautiful act known as limited animation, where I start to only move things that are necessary to move, starting with her hand. Oh, we have an Oscar update. Let's see if we are missing some. We went on a little bit of a explaining stuff. Did I miss anything?
We'd be doing that.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Best makeup and hairstyling. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. These are weird. These are weird names.
I have no idea what some of these movies are.
Best actor, Daniel Kaluuya. Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya.
You cut out for a second there.
Best
You cut out
actor.
for a split second.
Best actor in a supporting role. Role. For Judas and the Black Messiah.
You cut out for a split second there, so I nearly died of laughter. Just best actor, Daniel.
Best.
Like,
oh wow.
you know what?
Best international feature film. Another round. Quotation from Denmark. And then best adapted screenplay. Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller for The Father.
Best what?
Adapted screenplay. So that's like that. There's original screenplay and adapted screenplay. Original is when you make it's your story and you're not basing it on anything. Adapted is when it's like it's based on like a comic book or a book or something like that. I wonder if should we go until they announce the animation award and then rant about the winner, whatever it is, because it's gonna be it's not gonna be Wolf Walker.
Why not?
The stream is gonna be a while. I mean, I think we're already approaching the 2-hour mark.
Oh yeah, we're about 10 minutes over. I can see it in the so we could technically wrap up here. Yeah, the people are talking about art styles. It's not. A lot of people in the animation industry don't really necessarily have a specific art style. They just have art styles that they like to draw in. Like I like to draw in Art Deco. I like the style, but it's not my animation. It's not my style, you know. Although I guess no, because even then I'm thinking about some of the characters I've designed that aren't in Art Deco. But like even then, I had specific styles in mind when I did that, so I can't technically call that my own style either. Even the posters I've done, yeah, I don't really have a style. The only thing that I've noticed that's consistent with me in terms of style is that I really like, when I have colors, I really like to keep them saturated when I have colors. Sometimes I don't, and sometimes I use gray tones and stuff. But when I have colors, I like to make them nice and vibrant. I've noticed from the stuff I've done. I don't like it when colors are muted. I'd much rather have a nice, like say if there's a green in there versus against a bunch of grays and deep blues. I'd rather it be that green really shines through versus it being completely muted.
So, I don't like really, really bright colors whenever it comes to a more realistic style.
No, yeah,
well, that's sort of a given because it's like realistic. Colors aren't typically gonna be that bright unless if it's on like a poison dart frog or something.
Well, yeah, I don't mean like obnoxiously saturated. I feel like I mean like when there is a hero color in the picture, I like to make that the vibrant hero color. You know what I mean? Like it's not obviously I don't just like I don't just crank every single color up to the max and then call it a day. I'm like, yeah, no, that's awful. I mean, like, I want to, like, the colors that I have, I like to make sure that they're away from gray tone, you know? And that's not to say that gray tone's bad, because one of my favorite color palettes in film is Godzilla 2014, and that's like, I've talked to you guys in private meetings on how beautiful that is, I think, because it takes gray tones and makes it beautiful. But when there is color, I'm saying I like it so that the colors that are present are vibrant, but not obnoxiously so. I'm graduating the next time you guys stream. Congratulations.
Yay.
Monica, this last year, mine's just a horrific mess of things that I think look cool. Ditto. Ditto. Hard ditto. Teenage Robot messes a lot with coloration of its characters. How much is Reboot going to follow this trend? Very much so. It switches with the tone and the mood.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're trying to stay as close to the original style of the show as possible.
With some minor upgrades, because I'm thinking I want to do some minor upgrades, and it's mostly, but it's mostly in compositing, I think, because I really like it. It's something that's only recently been born, really, with the advent of digital animation and like the advent of online animation. You didn't really see it much back in the mid 2000s, but it's the effect that you have gradients almost always on screen somewhere. I don't know. Let's see if I can find an example. Give me 1 second. I know how to do it. I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, okay. I admit this is using, it was just one of the things that came to mind. So I'm sorry that I'm using this as an example. I know a lot of people are like going to roll their eyes, but like it shows the effect of what I'm talking about, okay? So bear with me. But this is... No? This is what I kind of want to bring to the Teenage Robot art style. Just a bit. Hold on. Browser. Okay, so check it out. So we're just talking about the gradients and the lighting and stuff like that. Check it out. It's from My Little Pony the movie, but like check it out. Check it out how they're lit. That's what I'm talking about. See how up here the characters' faces are lighter than they are down here. Their base color is the same, but the way they composited it, they have a gradient going on the characters, so that the bottom, like they're darkened down here, and then they're lit up here. And then if you look real close, if I can like just bump up this image, you look real close on their sides, they have a little bit of light reflection or some light highlights going on, and it only traces their sides, right? Kind of like you can see it come down the hair a little bit. This technique has only appeared in the recent decade, just about. It probably existed somewhere in the mid 2000s, like it's experimental, but it's definitely something you haven't, that hasn't really hit the popular, the wide demographic until now, in this recent decade. And that's something I'd like to bring to the Teenage Robot style. Not, again, I'm using My Little Pony as a weird and off example. It's ignore how it's My Little Pony and just look at the lighting style. That's what I want to kind of mix in, because I think that would mix real well with Art Deco and Teenage Robot.
So I've noticed in a lot more of the modern animation, characters move. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to put it. I guess there's like a sort of bobbing with every movement they do. Like whenever they like lean into emotion, there's a split second where they just like kind of bob.
Yeah, that's definitely an animation. I think it's more so to do with tweening, because that's an easy thing to do with when you're tweening something. But I want to kind of avoid that a little bit.
So do I. And I don't know how... I was going to bring up, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure how much I really like that. It feels like it's too smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need 60 FPS for a cartoon.
Oh yeah, there's a beautiful video of exactly why 60 frames a second is awful for animation. Somewhere, made by some guy out there. I think his name's like Noodle or something. But I'm sure if you look up 60 frames per second animation, you're gonna find the video of where he in depth explains why it's such a horrible thing for animation. Honestly, it's not that great for movies either. Really, when you make 60 frames per second for movies, it's usually because you're gonna slow it down. When you record something in 60 frames per second, that's because you're going to convert it to 24 frames per second by just slowing it down.
Aren't movies usually like in that 20 to 30 FPS?
Yes, that's that's standard. It's either 24 frames. You sometimes come across the 23.97 frames per second. Sometimes it's 24. That's usually animation. Sometimes it's 29.97 frames per second. Sometimes it's a solid 30. So rarely is a film shown in something like 48 frames per second or 60 frames per second because it looks kind of awful. It kind of like it's for gaming, you know? It's when you're controlling the character, when you're invested in the movement and like you're looking for things that you got to respond to. That's where you want the higher frame rate. When you're sitting back in a theater or just on your couch watching something and you're not controlling anything, it's disorienting, really. And you don't want it.
Yeah, there's just a point where it becomes too smooth. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an appeal of like the old Looney Tunes compared to the new Looney Tunes. I feel like the old Looney Tunes just feels, the animation just feels a little better. I mean, granted, it's a little choppier, I guess, but it just feels right, I guess. That choppiness feels like it's supposed to be that way. And in the new Looney Tunes, it's just got that same, it's a little too clean and a little too smooth.
Maybe. I mean, I guess we're talking.
I don't know.
I guess we're talking. Well, at first I think you'd have to describe like which era you're talking about in terms of old Looney Tunes, and then like are we talking Tex Avery or Chuck Jones or?
Yeah, I know. I gotta be more precise, but I don't know the whole history and all that.
Right.
I'm not. But I'm talking about. I don't know, just like. I can't put a precise date on anything. I just know that I've watched these before, and that's that. I don't know their whole history. It's bleh. But there is a point where it just becomes too smooth, and it's just annoying. Just annoying to look at.
Right, I can see that. Yeah, the 60 frames per second thing for animation, you should never apply it to animation. It just doesn't work. The only one that I can see it being applied to, and I can actually see some credence to, right, is stop motion animation. And the only reason why I can see some credence to that is because at least you are doing what the AI was designed for. In that AI that were converts something to 60 frames per second was designed for live action stuff. Like that's just what it was designed for. It's designed for taking live action footage that's at around 24 or 30 frames per second and converting it to 60. So then you can take that footage, put it in an editing program, and slow it down, and boom, you got some slow motion. You know, that's the whole point, guys.
Yeah.
Again, 60 frames per second, live action, it's for slow motion. Anyway, So by putting stop motion animation, which is something live in front of the camera, it's technically animation, yes, but it's like you're filming a physical puppet that has like physicality to it that the AI can better interpret versus 2D animation, which it can hardly interpret, or CG animation, which is better than 2D in terms of like the AI being able to recognize it, but at the same time, it still has those like cartoony textures and like those even the most realistic looking CG animation out there that's not obviously designed to look like live action. I'm talking about like, say, Good Dinosaur, freaking hyper realistic CG landscapes, characters, they're still very cartoonish. It struggles with that stuff. Stop motion, everything's physical. Everything has dimension. Everything has like the same practicality to it as something it would be in live action. So that's where it would succeed, I think, a little bit better. And then you can take that stop motion footage, slow it down, and you got, oh, look at that, you got some slow motion, stop motion with half the battle. Because stop motion animator speaking here, I speak from this experience. Slow motion, stop motion is hard. It's very hard.
I imagine it's a very painstaking process because it's just so many minuscule movements over the course of so much time. And I mean, that's already what stop motion is.
Yes.
But like if you're doing a slow-mo shot, that's even more dragged on.
Yes, it's so hard. Because you gotta, every single movement you make in a slow motion, stop motion shot, it's gotta be astronomically precise.
It's gotta be precise.
It's so painstaking. That's where I think, that's where I see that AI being like, that can help that. You can make slow motion, stop motion with half the battle, you know? And it still look pretty smooth. Taking animation and randomly making it 60 frames per second, it's like, it's gonna look awful.
Yeah, it's smoother, but now it's obnoxious.
Stop motion could work with 20 frames per second. I mean, that's the standard, really. Stop motion. Even my instructor, like, you know, I've been telling you guys that animation is usually 24 frames per second on twos, usually, right? Stop motion, even my stop motion instructor, it's beneficial if you just do 24 frames per second on ones. Otherwise, it's going to look obnoxiously choppy. Because stop motion in and of itself already kind of, without the use of digital motion blur or go motion, it already kind of has a choppy quality to it inherently. That's like just part of the brand. That's not to say it's impossible to get a smooth look. It's just like, it happens, you know?
Just a hassle.
But if you were to animate on twos with stop motion, it's going to look even more choppy. You usually just got to go straight to ones. Unless the character's like standing still or something. Anyway, I think we should be Have they announced it yet? I think we should be wrapping up here soon anyway.
Someone just asked, what's your favorite war crime? See, that's when you know you have to wrap up.
Okay. And we're done.
Good night, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Let's see. I'm looking for any more last minute questions. And then we'll officially wrap up.
A whole one frame, or I don't know.
Oh, they interpreted that as us saying goodbye, so I guess I think that's it.
Okay, yeah.
I guess okay. All right, guys. See you guys next month. Yep. See you in the next meeting or the next live stream would be May 30th. Yes.
That's that sounds like a holiday.
Is
that
is May 30th a holiday?
That sounds like it's like, isn't that Columbus Day or Memorial Day or something? Memorial Day, Columbus Day's in October.
Then that get switched to
Wait, no, Memorial Day's the 31st. Never mind. So yeah, May 30th.
May 30th. Okay.
I knew Memorial Day was around that time. That's the 31st, so we're good.
All right. Well, there's the answer.
My birthday's on the 22nd.
Well, Merry Early Birthmas.
Merry Birthmas to me.
All right, guys. I don't see any last minute questions, so see you guys later.
Adios.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.